Verizon, W.B. Mason, and the Yawkey Foundations.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Fenway Park.
In game one of this series, an offensive explosion by the Red Sox created some ill will with the Marlins. Last night, Gabe Kapler's 4 hits in his Red Sox debut were overshadowed by the drama in the late innings. Florida scored 8 unanswered runs in the 8th and 9th to even the series. Live from Fenway Park, NESN presents Boston Red Sox baseball. Today, the Red Sox take on the Florida Marlins. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Game 3 of the series. One thing the Red Sox have done well this season is bounce back from some tough losses.
And last night was certainly a tough loss, Don, combined with the fact that the Yankees didn't win a doubleheader against the Mets. The good news for the Red Sox today, they got the hottest pitcher out there right now in Derek Lowe. And if Lowe can come up big today, they win this ball game. They win this series in what has been an absolutely crazy series.
Well, the rubber game is coming up next right here on NESN. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, by your Boston area Lexus dealers, by Citizens Bank, by Volvo, by Bob Stores, and by Coors Light. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Fenway Park, where the Red Sox and the Florida Marlins get ready to wrap up their 3-game series. Let's take a look at the visiting Marlins starting lineup. Juan Pierre leads it off in center field. Luis Castillo at second base. Ivan Rodriguez, the DH today. Mike Lowe at third. Juan Encarnacion in right. Derek Lee at first base. Miguel Cabrero in left. Alex Gonzalez at short, and Mike Redmond does the catching. Today's lineup brought to you by your friendly New England Dodge dealers.
And the defense this afternoon for the Red Sox, Bill Miller will be at third base. Nomar the shortstop. Todd Walker at second, and Kevin Millar at first. Left to right, Gabe Kapler, Johnny Damon, and Trot Nixon. Jason Veritek behind the plate. And on the mound, Derek Lowe. Start number 17. He leads the Red Sox with 8 wins. He has lost 3 times, a 4.28, and he has been unbelievable here at Fenway. 5-0 with a 1.95 ERA.
Well, a fine day yesterday for Juan Pierre. Proved to be a pest atop the order for the Marlins as he faces Derek Lowe. Well, Pierre bunts at it, foul. Veritek quickly out to play it in foul ground. 1-1.
Juan Pierre last night 4 for 4 in the game with a couple of steals and 2 bunt base hits. He's got 3 bunt hits in this series.
He's reached base in each of his last 6 plate appearances with 4 hits and 2 walks. As that one gets him back out of the way. He displayed some awesome defense in the first game of the series, and then last night caused havoc all over the place by reaching on the bunt and stealing a few bases in the game. This is grounded this time to deep short. Nomar off balance against the grain and in time. Wow, looked like it may have pulled Millar off, but somehow he's able to keep the foot on the bag for the out.
Oh, what a terrific play again by Garciaparra to start off this game. I mean, the infield's pulled in everywhere. That's exactly where Pierre wants to hit the ball. Make the shortstop go to his right. But watch the quick release by Garciaparra. Gets rid of that ball in a hurry. He has to with Pierre going down the line. And they pick up the first out of the ball game. Now that's a big league shortstop play.
Certainly is.
Shortstop going to his right, throwing off balance and getting a guy with the speed of Juan Pierre.
Nomar almost seems more comfortable throwing off balance than he does straight up. As he makes the good play to get Juan Pierre for the first out here in the top of the first inning. Luis Castillo, the second baseman, in on the left side, taking strike 2 and quickly in the hole, nothing in 2. Castillo at 309, 5 homers and 21 runs driven in. Sharply hit in behind the Marlins first base coach, and it's still 0-2.
Let's check today's game notes, brought to you by a New England Toyota dealer. Derek Lowe 5-0 with a 2.70 in his last 8 starts. Last night for the Marlins, 3rd win when trailing after 8 innings, and the Red Sox scored 6 or more runs in 46 of the whatever games they played.
Walker at second, throws out Castillo. I think it's 79 games.
79. I know it started with a 7, but I couldn't figure out the last number. 58% of their games. How's that?
Whatever games there are left. I knew what you were talking about. So 2 down. Ivan Rodriguez standing in, and we're available. Today's broadcast can be heard in Spanish by using the SAP function on your TV set.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
So 2 down, 2 ground ball outs for Derek Lowe out of the gate. All is well so far for Lowe as Ivan Rodriguez, who has caught the first couple games in there as the DH today, and he takes strike 1. Irod at 287, 9 homers and 39 runs driven in. Chops out at sending it foul off third, and he too is down 0-2.
Pudge has been hot recently. A 5-game hitting streak for Rodriguez. Had 3 RBI last night in the game.
He was 2 for 5 and kept the rally going for the Marlins in the top of the 9th inning. Struck him out. First strikeout of the day for Derek Lowe ends things in the top of the 1st. The Marlins go 1-2-3. Red Sox coming up. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park. Eric Fried along with us today as we head to the bottom of the 1st inning. Johnny Damon, Todd Walker, and Omar Garciaparra to face Brad Penny, the right-handed starter going today for the Marlins. And Damon taking ball 1.
Brad Penny, 17th start, a record of 6-5. That 6th win coming last time out against the Mets. He has faced the Red Sox 1 time in his career, a total of 2 innings. Did not allow a run. It's a hard throw. Get that fastball up there, 94, 95 miles an hour. And you can see the numbers for Penny. The opponent's hitting 279 against the right-hander.
And 2-0 to Johnny Damon is in there for a strike. 2-1. Up and away, and it's now 3-1 to Damon. Red Sox in their alternate red jerseys today as they wear on day games a lot of times. They've got it on here for this Sunday afternoon matinee affair and the final game on the homestand for the Red Sox. Ball 4 to Damon, and the Red Sox leadoff man aboard here in the 1st inning. Today's lineup brought to you by your friendly New England Dodge dealers. Johnny Damon, of course, top of the order. Walker at second base. Garciaparra at short. David Ortiz, the DH. Kevin Millar at first base with Nixon in right. Dave Kapler in the lineup again. He's in left. Bill Miller at third base. And Jason Varitek does the catching. So Damon aboard at first base. Todd Walker stands in. And out to talk to the starting pitcher goes Mike Redmond.
Let's take a look at the defense for the Marlins, brought to you by a Boston area Lexus dealers. Mike Lowe will be at third base. Alex Gonzalez the shortstop. Luis Castillo at second. And Derek Lee at first. Miguel Cabrero goes back to left field today. Juan Pierre in center. Juan Encarnacion in right. And Mike Redmond doing the catching as Ivan Rodriguez is the DH today.
Up and away to Walker, and right now Brad Penny having a tough time throwing strikes. Walked Johnny Damon to begin the inning. Now he has fallen behind Todd Walker, who checks in at 309, 6 homers and 43 runs batted in. Three 3-0 to Walker as the sun peeks out again here at Fenway Park. It's now pretty much a blue sky. It was a cloud-covered Fenway Park before the game. Neither team taking batting practice on the field. The tarp was actually on the field today. There's a strike. 3-1 to Walker.
Well, we have the 4 games with the Tigers, and not much was made about the Marlins series, but it's been tough to beat the excitement in this series.
Certainly has. Well, starting with that amazing game on Friday night in which so much took place within the game. There goes Damon. Walker swings away, hits it high and deep to right. That ball is back. That ball is gone. A blast to right field for Todd Walker, his 7th home run of the year. And it puts the Red Sox on top 2-0 right out of the gate today.
You got a guy having a tough time finding the strike zone. Walker gets himself in the hitter's count. He knows he's going to get a fastball, and he loses it up over that Marlin bullpen. Todd Walker's 7th home run, his 44th and 45th RBI, and the Red Sox off quickly here today.
So a walk and a home run. Now here's Nomar. Nomar Garciaparra homering for the 2nd time in 4 games yesterday against the Marlins, and is hitting at .417 now in June. As he grounds one sharply to third, Mike Lowe is there, and there's the first out in the bottom of the 1st inning.
First 2 games of this series, the Red Sox have actually fallen behind early in the ball game, but not the case here this afternoon. Todd Walker, nice and fresh, had yesterday off from the ball game, and first at bat today, the 2-run home run.
David Ortiz standing in at .297, 4 homers and 36 runs driven in. So sort of amazed me, guys get nights off and they seem to come back all refreshed in some cases. A different perspective sometimes, I guess, just to sit on the bench tonight. I mean, it's not like you have it off. I mean, you go through BP and you're here all night anyway.
Yeah, it's not so much sometimes either the physical part of it, but just relaxing mentally for a day. If the manager tells you the night before that you're going to have an off day, you kind of sleep a little bit better. You're not worried about the next day's at bats. Sometimes it's refreshing. Ramirez getting today off. He's been banged up a little bit, but he'll have today, and then of course tomorrow a scheduled off day for the Red Sox. He's played in every game this year for Boston.
He's the only one, and today getting it off. Red Sox will use tomorrow as a travel day, as the ball club leaving tomorrow afternoon to fly out to St. Petersburg to begin the road trip. And who knows, maybe we'll see Manny at some point during the game, and I know Grady Little would like to give him 2 days off here today, and of course the scheduled off day tomorrow. 1-2. Ortiz fights it off foul. Still 1-2. It's at .333 with 2 homers, 10 doubles, and 17 RBIs in the month of June. It's been a very good month for David Ortiz. And there is the DH today as Kevin Millar gets to start at first base. It's sharply fouled down the third baseline. Red Sox beginning the day 3.5 games behind the Yankees, who are atop the AL East, and the Yankees of course sweeping the Mets in both ends of the doubleheader between the Yankee Stadium and Shea yesterday.
Well, the Mets made a valiant comeback in Game 2, the game at Shea Stadium last night, but fell short as the Yankees ended up winning that ball game. Yankees, of course, on the schedule for the Red Sox in that next road trip for 4 games from the stadium.
Ortiz goes around, changed his mind in the middle, but there is strikeout number 1 for Brad Penny, 2 down.
Brad Penny's strikeout high on the season is 10. He did that against Cincinnati back on May the 24th. High fastball up and away from David Ortiz. Looks like David got halfway through that swing and wanted to hold up.
Two down for Kevin Millar. He's another guy that has enjoyed the month of June as we draw closer to the end of the month. Hitting at .388 with 5 home runs, 9 doubles, and 24 runs batted in 21 games in June. And overall, that batting average up to .323 for Millar. And He is now in the top 10 with a few other Red Sox players. He is 6th overall with his .323 batting average. Popped up back at first. Lee and Castillo. The second baseman, makes the catch, and the Red Sox are gone. 2-run home run for Todd Walker as Boston on top 2-0. Back at Fenway Park, Red Sox on top 2-0 thanks to a 2-run home run by Todd Walker. Mike Lowe, who was the hero in last night's game for the Marlins, is down 0-2. The Marlins were down to their last strike and out last night when Lowe hit the 3-run home run to give the Marlins a lead and the win. This one gets away from Derek Lowe in the 0-2 pitch, and he hits Lowe. And down to first base goes Lowe to begin the inning.
Mike Lowe, of course, with the big home run last night. 0-2 here, trying to go inside, too far inside as it gets Lowe off the thigh. But he leads the National League with 25 home runs. Jim Edmonds is second with 24. Last night, Brandon Lyon tried to go away from him with the fastball 0-2. That time, Lowe tried to come inside and got a piece of Mike Lowe.
Here's Juan Encarnacion, the right fielder for the Marlins. Showing bunt and taking the strike. Here is the home run last night that propelled the Marlins over the Red Sox into the bullpen. A 3-run shot and the completion of quite a comeback last night for Florida. And the first blown save for Brandon Lyon. And Lowe, the National League leader in home runs. 7 of the last 13 hits for him have been home runs. Encarnacion sends it towards the gap in right center field. That's going to get down and roll back by the track in the wall. Mike Lowe going to try and send him around to score. The cutoff coming in from short right center is not in time. And on to third base goes Encarnacion. His gapper leads to a run as Lowe scores all the way from first base. And the Marlins cut the Red Sox lead in half. It's now 2-1.
Remember when Encarnacion came into the league with the Tigers and really did not do very much for Detroit, but he's become a pretty darn good player here for the Florida Marlins. Into that gap all the way to the Red Sox bullpen. The relay throw from Todd Walker. Veritek blocks the plate, but Lowell just does get in there with the hand. Couldn't get the body in there, but he did get the hand in.
So Encarnacion at third. Here's Derek Lee, who grounds it outside to third. He had 259, 14 homers, and 39 runs batted in. He has 6 hits in his last 34 at bats, hitting at just 176 over his last 11 games. He's now played in 292 straight games. It's the second longest game played streak in Marlins history. Streak is the longest active run in the NL currently. It's third longest in the major leagues. Miguel Tejada leading in that category. 511 games for Oakland, and A-Rod 467 games between Texas and Seattle.
I haven't checked the notes, but I think Jeff Conine has the longest streak in Marlins history. Yeah.
It's 307 games, Jeff Conine, so he's now 17 games shy from surpassing Conine's all-time franchise record. The 2-2. This is inside to Lee, and it's a full count. So the first hit that Derek Lowe gives up today was to Juan Encarnacion, led to a run with Mike Lowe scoring all the way from first base. Got him. Second strikeout for Derek Lowe. Lee goes chasing, and there's one down.
Well, H.B. Hood is rooting for the Red Sox and kids throughout New England. Each time the Red Sox strike out an opponent, make a double play, hit a home run at Fenway, Hood donates $100 to the Hood Home Team Advantage Fund, which in turn benefits children's hospitals all over New England.
See right there, it's got the strikeout right there at the bottom. The scoring right below the Hood bottle out there in right field. The White Monster. One down for Miguel Cabrero with the open stance from the right side. Cabrera 200 with the home run and 6 runs batted in. He has been seen in the outfield defensively for the Marlins in this series. Played third base last night for Florida. And has a good bit of versatility. They're very high on Miguel Cabrero.
He looked very good down at third base. Good throwing arm. We mentioned last night that he was moved from shortstop in the minor leagues to third base. Second appearance in the outfield for him in this series.
Down 0-2. He fouls it off right around the plate. The potential tying run 90 feet away here for the Marlins. Derek Lowe working here with a runner at third, 1 down. A run in for Florida. And Lowe has now thrown 25 pitches in his outing after a very quick 1-2-3 first inning. He's had to expend a little bit more energy here in the second inning. Cabrera has been hitless in his last 9 at bats. Last hit he had was on June 26th against the Mets at Shea Stadium. It was a double. And he comes in with a batting average that is just at 200 for the Marlins. Got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Derek Lowe. And there's 2 down here in the top of the second inning.
Now, Derek Lowe, you consider a contact pitcher, ground ball pitcher with a sinker ball that comes up with 2 clutch strikeouts with that man at third base. That sinker never really appeared to be in the strike zone. Started out knee high and then really dipped down, and no contact by Cabrera. So 2 huge strikeouts for Lowe.
When you look at Derek Lowe's strikeout totals from the season, and most of his outings are somewhere between 4 and 5 strikeouts per outing. So not a guy that's going to go up there and do 9 or 10. A lot more contact on Derek Lowe.
And if you're going to get 4 or 5 a game, you might as well get him with that man at third in less than 2 outs.
It's all about timing, and so far back-to-back strikeouts with that runner at third. Alex Gonzalez takes the strike, 1-1. Gonzalez, the shortstop, who totes a .310 batting average with 12 homers and 50 runs batted in. Some pretty good numbers for a number 8 hitter, where he is currently positioned in the Marlins order.
He's had a bit of a struggle recently, only 3 for his last 24, but still maintains that .310 batting average.
That bat ended up in the general direction of Bill Miller down there at third base.
Bill Miller was contemplating backhanded the barrel of the bat. Ball foul, bat fair. Not much but a dangerous weapon left in the hands of Gonzalez there.
The 2-2 to Gonzalez. He sends it to the opposite field for a hit. In from third comes Encarnacion, and the Marlins have tied it up 2-2. So a 2-out base hit RBI for Alex Gonzalez, and the game tied at 2.
Clutch 2-out base hit after back-to-back strikeouts with the man on third and down in the count. Gonzalez just protecting the plate, reaches out and puts it on a line in right field for the 2-out base hit.
So 2 away from Mike Redmond, who catches here today. Ivan Rodriguez getting the day off from catching. He's the DH. And the check at first base on Alex Gonzalez.
Gonzalez does not have a steal on the season. He's been caught 4 times.
Redmond 6 for his last 16 over his last 6 games that have been spread out a little bit. Played in 36 games, 16 as a starting catcher so far this season, backing up Ivan Rodriguez. Line right to the second baseman Todd Walker to end the inning. So the Marlins come up with 2 at the end of an inning and a half. We're tied at 2.
Okay. Okay, we've got something borrowed, something blue, something old, something new. Something new. I don't have anything. I don't have anything new. Something new.
Introducing Dunkin' Donuts' refreshing new lemonade Coolada. For a new twist on lemonade, it's just the thing. Stop by Dunkin' Donuts and try our new refreshing lemonade Coolada. To quench your thirst, this delicious frozen drink is just the thing.
Right. Got it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's great news. I appreciate it. Goodbye. Well, I've got some fantastic news.
I'm not here.
No, it was Geico. I just saved myself a bunch of money on my car insurance.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The Hyundai Sonata, ranked most appealing entry midsize car. More standard features than a Toyota Camry LE, including a V6 engine. Offer over $2,400 less when comparably equipped. Add in America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles, and you win. Test drive the Hyundai Sonata starting at just $14,999 at your Hyundai dealer. Hurry in and get a 2003 Sonata with $1,000 cash back or 0% APR at your local Hyundai dealer.
Bottom of the second inning back at Fenway Park as the Red Sox and Marlins in Game 3 of the series. .313, 9 homers and 45 runs batted in for Nixon. Nixon, Kapler, and Bill Miller face Brad Penny here in the second inning. A 2-run home run by Todd Walker gave the Red Sox a 2-0 lead. The Marlins have come back to tie it 2-2. Nixon down 1-2. Up now at 2-2. Brad Penny, 24 years of age. He's from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. He's the second member in the major leagues to be from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. There is another, actually a former Red Sox player.
Sounds familiar.
Butch Husky is from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Yeah, Penny, as young as he is, ranks 4th in Marlins history with 32 wins behind Ryan Dempster with 42, Pat Rapp 37, and of course Kevin Brown 33.
Into the Marlins via the Arizona Diamondbacks along with Vladimir Nunez. It's a foul ball just outside the line. And he was traded for right-handed pitcher Matt Manti. Ended up with Arizona July 9th of 1999. And Penny coming over to the Marlins. So only major league experience has come with Florida, and this is now his 4th season in the major leagues. Nixon pops it up in the infield. Left side as Mike Lowe dances around and makes the catch for out number 1. Let's check in with Eric Freed. Eric.
Don spending a Sunday afternoon here on top of the monster seats with Ryan and Aaron. Aaron is my model here. This number 14 is very special. It's a final postscript on what happened Friday night. This is from the scoreboard just below that 14-run first inning, and it's making the rounds around the Red Sox clubhouse. They're signing it. Jason Varitek, Johnny Damon. It's going to go into the Red Sox Hall of Fame. Now, Johnny Damon, who had the single, the double, and the triple in that historic first inning for the Red Sox, his bat from that game is going to the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. So we're going to give this back to the Red Sox. We promise it won't end up on eBay tonight. Thank you, Aaron.
That's great. Thank you very much, Eric.
It's amazing, Don, the interest in that game. I told you yesterday about the order for scorecards on the Rem report. You know what the total is now?
What are we at?
Up over 600.
Wow. Have there been other historic events since you've had it going that
well, you know, the biggest seller was Derek Lowe's no-hitter from last year. Everybody obviously wants a no-hitter, but no, this has been the largest sale for a particular game this season. You always get Pedro games, Yankee games, but nothing like this.
Well, an incredible night last night in his debut for Gabe Kapler. And in there again today, he gets to start in left field for Manny Ramirez, who gets the day off. Kapler was 4 for 5 with a triple, 2 doubles, and 3 runs batted in his Red Sox debut. And for a strike, 3-1. He was just a home run shy of completing the cycle here last night. In the air to left field. Does it have enough? It is up. It is gone. The home run that he couldn't get last night to complete the cycle is the first thing he does today. Gabe Kapler, welcome to Boston. It's 3-2 Red Sox.
I'll tell you what, you couldn't have a better start. Can you imagine the game he had last night? 4 for 5. Needed the home run for the cycle. First at bat Sunday afternoon. 3-1 fastball for his first home run in a Red Sox uniform. Well, talk about endearing yourself to the fans. My goodness.
Tough to do much more in your debut. And right back in there again today. Bill Miller bats with 1 down, 1-0. Missing to Miller, 2-0. So 2 home runs today for the Red Sox. Todd Walker's 2-run shot in the first. A solo home run by that man, Gabe Kapler, in the second inning. And Miller jumps back out of the way, 3-0.
It's not like Penny's given up a lot of home runs this year. 6 coming into the game, but already 2 in this one. Todd Walker and Gabe Kapler.
And their first strike, 3-1. Last year, over 129 in the third innings, he gave up 18 home runs. Well, hits it sharply. One hopper skim to Luis Castillo. Throws out Bill Miller. 2 down.
And one more look at the home run. Fastball middle in. And that's exactly where a lot of guys look for the ball. Power hitters on that 3-1 count. The fastball middle in. It's exactly where Kapler gets it. And puts it up into the monster seats for the home run.
Two down, Jason Varitek, the switch hitting catcher, against the right-hander ups for the left side. Varitek at .286 so far this season. And the breaking ball in there for strike 1. .286, 12 homers and 44 runs batted in for Jason Varitek. Offered very late, and the indication by Jerry Davis is that when he went around. So Varitek dismayed to find that out, down 0-2.
Game time is Miller time at Fenway in on Nesson. Stop by a participating Fenway area retailer before the game. You can win free tickets to the game. End up on Nesson. And the game time is Miller time. Fenway seats.
The 0-2 again to Varitek. He is grounded down the first base line right to Derek Lee, who gets the good hop and retires to the side. Red Sox get a solo home run from Gabe Kapler and lead it 3-2. Oh, and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park, ready for the top of the third. Red Sox on top now, 3-2. Juan Pierre bunts at it and gets it by Lowe to shortstop, and by that time, no chance. Pierre aboard at first base, a leadoff bunt single.
What a great play by Pierre. You know, everybody's pinching you. Third base, first base. The only guy that's back deep is the shortstop. And if you have that kind of back control where you can slap it right by the third baseman, get it to the shortstop, you got a hit. Everything's perfect right here. Derek Lowe, the right-hander, falling off toward first base. Miller's in shallow. Just a little ground ball to shortstop on the bunt. You got a base hit. He'd drive you crazy at the top of the lineup, that guy, won't he?
Yes, he will. He has in this series. And another infield hit for him is 25th. He has now surpassed Dave Roberts of the LA Dodgers. And his teammate Luis Castillo in the top 3 as well. Well, now they'll have to keep a very close eye on him. We saw him last night steal 2 bases.
35 on the season. He is 11 ahead of Dave Roberts of LA.
Still another guy who will drop down an occasional bunt. As they check on Pierre again, his lead was very short over at first base. Done very well on the road has Luis Castillo, and over the last 14 games at .379.
We don't have a leadoff hitter like that in the American League that comes to mind that plays that kind of a game. Constant bunting and having the infield adjusted the way he does.
Ichiro on occasion.
Ichiro, that's probably the closest thing. Yeah.
I can't think of anybody else.
No, not right now. Not in our league.
It's amazing what a difference it makes when your leadoff hitter can do the things that he can do.
Well, you see how he changes the infield. It's incredible. I mean, you've got Walker playing shallower than double play depth. You got the first and third baseman in. You're going to have to probably pull in Nomar now after you see that. Lowe holding the ball a long time, trying to get Pierre where he doesn't have any movement at first base. Trying to get him flat foot, but tough to do against a real good base stealer.
Montreal Expos today have a 2-0 lead over the Toronto Blue Jays through 6. Tomo Oka has a no-hitter going today for the Montreal Expos. No hits, no walks. He has hit a batter. This is chopped to first. Millar's going to try and start it. High throw, one out there, but he'll get the return throw as they do get the lead man in Pierre, and that is a big out. One down.
That's a pretty good exchange. You do have speed at first base, obviously, in Castillo, but not the same speed as Pierre. The tough part about this play from a first baseman's point of view is seeing the shortstop, getting the ball up over the head of that runner. See, he clears him nicely there. Nomar had to jump a little bit to make the play, but at least Garciaparra had a good look at that baseball. It was not over the shoulder of Pierre.
So one down, Luis Castillo at first base, and it brings up Ivan Rodriguez, who struck out swinging his first time up. So yeah, Tomo Oka with a no-hit bid today for the Montreal Expos. Oka, who in his career in the Red Sox farm system actually threw a perfect game for the Pawtucket Red Sox in June of 2000 against the Charlotte Knights, the Chicago White Sox top farm hand.
What's the Yankees Mets? That the big game tonight?
That is the Sunday night game, if I'm not mistaken. I am not mistaken. They tell me it'll be Leiter against Weaver. Jeff Weaver getting the start tonight for the Yankees. Al Leiter going for the Mets. And despite all the Mets losing ways, Leiter 8-4 is a winning record. Hit well by Ivan Rodriguez. Deep center field. Damon back, and he can't make the catch. Off him and the wall. Running is Castillo. He'll be sent around. The throw from center field from Garciaparra is not in time. So Castillo is in, and we are tied at 3. Standing at second base is Ivan Rodriguez.
Well, Rodriguez having a big series as far as the ribbies go, and there's no question about that. Watch Veritek again at home plate. He blocks it again, but it looks like Castillo just finds home plate with his hand. Johnny Damon just missing that play, crashing into the padding on the wall. Now the relay. To Garciaparra, to Veritek. Watch Veritek block the plate, but I believe the hand does get in again. Yeah, he's not allowing the body to get in, but the hands are getting in. There's Millard jumping to fake that like he's going to cut it off. That has little effect because Irod's already on second base anyway.
Lowe swings away and chops it down the third baseline foul. He walked his first time and came around to score. Lowe at 68 RBIs behind Preston Wilson and Albert Pujols. And Pujols right now leading the major leagues in batting average. Pujols at 386 right now, far and away ahead of anybody else. The American League leader is Melvin Mora, who is hitting at 357. We got a little bit of a look at Albert Pujols and how good he is when the Cardinals were in to play the Red Sox.
He'd have to go into a month-low offer to fall out of first place in that race. Renteria second at 337.
And you're kind of getting to the stage of the year here in the midway point where that batting average doesn't move a whole lot one way or the other.
Well, although when you're hitting 386, it does have a tendency to drop a little more than a guy hitting 286.
Well, 386 right now. And this is grounded foul by Lowe. And it's 1-2. And Pujols also in the top 10 in home runs with 21. So a legitimate triple crown threat in Albert Pujols. And Mike Lowe is enjoying a very good season for him. 25 home runs, 68 RBIs, and he cranks this one foul over by the Marlins dugout.
Win a LoJack stolen vehicle recovery system by entering the LoJack caught stealing sweepstakes at boston.com/Nesson. Every time the Red Sox catch a run of stealing, go to the website, enter the date, opponent, and run a caught stealing for your chance to win.
Got him. Fourth strikeout for Derek Lowe. And the second out here in the top of the third inning.
Derek Lowe with the 4 strikeouts, 3 of them with the sinking fastball, 1 with the curveball. Again, that ball that starts out just about knee high and dips about ankle high.
2 down, Rodriguez at second, and here is Encarnacion, who doubled and scored his first time up. Very good numbers at Fenway Park over 14 games, hitting at .351 here at Fenway. He's 27 years of age, from the Dominican Republic. And of course, some of those numbers here at Fenway mostly compiled when he was a member of the Detroit Tigers. One of the Tigers from '97 through 2001. And ahead on the count now, 2-0. He was acquired from the Cincinnati Reds, where he spent 1 season. He was there for part of 2002. Picked up with infielder Wilton Guerrero. Left-handed pitcher Ryan Snare in exchange for Ryan Dempster in July 11th of last year.
Beach ball in the outfield, and home plate umpire not aware of it quite yet.
Two down, Ivan Rodriguez at second base. A run in already for the Marlins. And the 3-0. Encarnacion, the green light, sends it to shortstop, and Nomar throws him out. So the Marlins get a run. We play 2.5, and now we're tied at 3. At Fenway Park. Connecticut is also big on you, Jerry.
Parts of Connecticut. The other part of Connecticut's Yankee fans.
Johnny Damon, Todd Walker, and Nomar Garcia Parra face Brad Penny here in the bottom of the third inning. In a tie ball game, the Red Sox have had 2 different leads in this game, but both times the Marlins have come back. First to tie it at 2, and now at 3, as Damon has been hot over the last 16 games, and really the month of June. Stands in against Penny. He walked in the first inning and came around to score on the 2-run home run by Todd Walker. And the strike to Damon makes it 2-1. Brad Penny 6-5 with a 4.19 earned run average in his 17th appearance. Damon foul tipping it, evens up at 2-2. Sun darting in and out of some clouds above, mostly blue skies above. There are a few clouds up there, and right now the sun behind one of them. A very comfortable afternoon. A lot of that humidity that was with us for the Tigers series and the end of the week has really departed. Very comfortable conditions here at Fenway Park this afternoon. Damon sends it towards the shortstop. Nice play by Gonzalez, who throws him out. Wow. Nifty play turned in by the Marlins shortstop for out number 1.
Not only watched Nomar early in the game make a backhanded play on Pierre. Terrific play. Now how about this one? That big high bounce, and after the slide back up to make the throw to first base. Shortstops are throwing some leather around early in this game.
And Todd Walker fouling one back to the backstop. Walker against the Marlins in 20 games at .405 against the Florida Marlins. He's enjoyed his time against them. Big strike 2 for Brad Penny. Only 4 hits and 3 runs scored on Friday night. Singleton scored twice with 1 RBI as part of the 14-run, 13-hit first inning for the Red Sox on Friday. This time they get Walker on the ground out to second, 2 down. Well, some pretty impressive numbers so far, and I think I'm a little surprised to find out some of the numbers were actually better a year ago, Jerry.
Yeah, game behind it this time a year ago. Red Sox with a couple of more losses this season. The big difference in runs scored, obviously, for the Red Sox, but also a big difference in the ERA of the staff. And that says after a very slow start, that has started to come down for the Red Sox. And who knows what the rest of the way holds.
It's kind of the halfway mark. The actual halfway mark officially will be on Tuesday. The Red Sox play the first game of the series against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. But it's kind of interesting, you know. It seems in a lot of ways that this year has been far better. As Garcia Parra sends it to center, Juan Pierre moves over and in to make the catch, and the Red Sox go in order in the third through 3. We're tied at 3. Tied at 3. The Marlins are out hitting the Red Sox 4-2. And it is 6, 7, and 8 for the Marlins to face Derek Lowe in the inning. Derek Lee, Miguel Cabrera, and Alex Gonzalez expected trio in the inning. Derek Lee, a strikeout victim his first time up. 1 of 4 strikeouts today for Derek Lowe. And he starts him off with strike 1. Derek Lowe in search of his 9th win as he comes in at 8-3 into today's outing, and he's enjoyed his time at home this season for the Red Sox. A little bit more consistent here at Fenway Park than he has been on the road for Boston. This is chopped outside at third and foul, and it's 1-2.
I mentioned the improvement in the Red Sox pitching. For a while, they were just above Tampa Bay in pitching. They have since moved up to the 10th spot in the league with a 4.86 ERA.
Lowe strikes out Derek Lee for the 2nd time in the ball game, and that's 5 Ks for Lowe.
Red Sox Fantasy Camp for Kids is coming up August 18th and 19th at the Melrose Sports Complex. Boys and girls aged 7 to 15 will enjoy 2 days of baseball instruction, games, and an appearance by Red Sox Hall of Famer Louis Tiant, and a trip to Fenway Park where campers will be introduced on the baselines on August 19th. To reserve your spot, call 1-800-336-2267.
1 down for Miguel Cabrera, who was a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning. You're right. The Red Sox at one time, Tampa Bay was the only team below them. Texas was right in the same area, and really for a time there the Red Sox were kind of playing along the lines of the Texas Rangers teams of the last few years, where they're scoring 8 or 9 runs but at the same time giving up a lot of runs. But that has changed quite a bit, a little bit more consistency, but it sounds like there are more changes on the horizon for the Red Sox pitching staff, with some guys coming back and some reshuffling perhaps. Back at first base, Todd Walker takes charge and makes the catch in fair ground to retire Miguel Cabrera. 2 down.
Yeah, and the biggest couple of the big things they're talking about, and we'll see if this goes into effect, but moving Kim into the closer role, Brandon Lyon as a setup man, and moving Mendoza into the starting rotation. Of course, he's down in rehab assignment now, and he's actually building as to be a starter, building up his innings.
You also have Chad Fox, who apparently is getting very close to returning to the ball club, who is getting healthy, and hopefully the return of Casey Fossum in the near future, as Alex Gonzalez trying to bunt for a base hit here with 2 down in the inning.
I've always said if you're going to bunt for a base hit with 2 outs, be prepared to steal second base and quickly turn it into a double.
Well, there's Casey Fossum. And hopefully he will be back soon. And when he comes back, it sounds like he'll be part of the bullpen most likely, which would certainly give Grady Little the option of 2 lefties with Alan Embry and himself, something that the Red Sox have really not had the benefit of much this season.
Chad Fox, I understand, was in the Red Sox clubhouse this morning, and very close, it seems like, to rejoining the team. Those obliques, they take a long time, don't they?
They certainly do. In the air to shallow left. Garcia Parra is out. He'll give way to Kapler. Makes the catch coming on, and it's a 1-2-3-4 for Derek Lowe. We're still tied at 3. Fenway tied at 3 as we head to the last of the 4th inning. David Ortiz, Kevin Millar, and Trot Nixon to face Brad Penny here in the last of the 4th inning. David Ortiz struck out swinging in the 1st inning. The only strikeout for Brad Penny through the first 3 innings. And Ortiz, like many of the Red Sox, been on fire over the last few games. 6 of them he's hit at .333. Either the DH spot or first base. Oh, and Hopper nicely snared by Derek Lee, who takes it alone for the first out of the inning.
Seen a couple of pretty good plays over the last few innings. Gonzalez at shortstop, and now Derek Lee taking a base hit away from David Ortiz. This ball is really hit hard, and that hop explodes on Lee, but the quick hands to make the play at first base. Whew.
Six in a row now retired by Brad Penny since he relinquished a solo home run to Gabe Kapler.
Tell you what, Don, how about that for analyzing, huh?
I like that whoo part. Woo. That was
that's
you should mix that in more regularly.
That's putting together a package.
When you know it's really good, you should drop that.
Woo.
That's like, I'm sort of disappointed that we haven't heard the Rem Dog bark more recently either. I kind of miss that too.
Next sign we'll get it.
Okay. Sounds like a wounded beagle. 1-1 missing, or did he go? They check it first, and Paul Noward said he did not offer. 2-1.
Plus we head down to Tampa now. Wally's got a pack tonight, and he packs that, sunscreen at 170 because he wants to stay green in the sun. He's going to pack that kayak stuff to go with Joe Castiglione.
I wouldn't advise that. So left. On the move goes Cabrera, and he's able to make the catch for out number 2. Well, it's time now for our Aflac trivia question, and the question today: who is the only player remaining from the Marlins 1997 championship season? The answer for you in the next half inning. Of course, a lot of those players were traded away right after the championship season, but there is one player that remains from the 1997 championship team. 2 down for Trot Nixon. We'll tell you this, it is a bit of a trick question in that he was on the roster that season but did not appear in the postseason.
Pitcher?
No.
No, Mike Lowe. No?
No. 1-0 in the year to left field. Cabrera looking up, that ball carrying well and carrying out of the yard. It appeared up on top of the wall. Should be gone. And it is. The indication by the umpires. Nixon has gone yard for the 10th time this season. Puts the Red Sox on top 4-3. And all of the Marlins are out there to argue this one. One of the first ones that I can remember that end up on top of that wall. And the ground rule is that it's out of the yard. And it is for Nixon's 10th.
Yeah, if it goes on top of the wall, it's a home run. Remember we had the one the other night where the fan kind of interfered out there. That was pretty unclear. We'll take another look on replay. Nixon to the opposite field. That's a home run.
Gone.
It's a home run. That is not part of the wall. That's on top of the wall. That's the same thing as when they had the screen out there. There was a little section. You could hit the top of the wall, then it would bounce into the screen. That's the same case there.
And the umpire, Rob Drake, who was out there from third base, was asked by Jack McKeon to consult the other umpires.
Yeah, this here's a home run. Okay, that's a home run there if it hits there, and that's exactly where the ball hit.
And so the umpires are meeting, and they will talk it over. But I think that's as clear cut as it gets, landing on top of the wall.
One more look at the opposite field home run by Nixon. Now that's after the bounce already, but you can see it bouncing on top of that, and that should be a home run.
The fact that this is taking longer has me concerned, though.
Well, unless they've changed the rules since we've been giving them.
Rob Drink was asked by McKeon to meet with the rest of the umpires. And now the home plate umpire, Jerry Davis, walking over to Jack McKeon.
Wally said it's a home run. He's in his red today.
Well, that alternate jersey.
Now, our understanding, when you look at the top of that wall, is no different than when the screen was up there. This part here, that's a home run. Now, obviously, if it hits here and comes down, that is not a home run. But anything on this platform here is a home run. This isn't in play. That's all home run territory.
So it is indeed a home run in the 10th of the year for Trot Nixon, and it has the Red Sox on top for the third time today, 4-3. And it'll bring up Gabe Kapler, who homered in the second inning to put the Red Sox at the time on top 3-2. What has been an amazing beginning for him in a Red Sox uniform. 5 for his first 6. And he takes strike 1 from Brad Penny. It's interesting to watch Jack McKeon and the fire that he still has at 72 years of age. He has not taken this job or position very lightly. I mean, he is as fired up gets. And out there to argue that last call. And we've seen a lot of him over the series.
Now they
heard
said,
from him.
I was told that last night in the dugout after they had fallen behind, and of course a lot of the talk was about what happened, you know, on Friday night. He says, wait a minute. He got his groups together. He says, you're getting beat again. You know, stop the yapping and let's go win a game.
They responded. Kapler's responded with yet another hit. His 6th in a Red Sox uniform as he sends it out to right field, and Kapler continues to amaze.
Well, just to give you an idea, Kapler had 15 hits as a member of the Colorado Rockies. Okay? He's already got, what, 6 now for the Red Sox?
That's correct.
This time an outside pitch and takes it to the opposite field.
So 2 down, Kapler at first, and here's Bill Miller.
He can run a little bit too. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he gets the jump that he has the green light to go, especially here with the 2 outs.
His career's 57 stolen bases in 76 attempts. Parts of 6 major league seasons. There he goes. Miller swinging away, sending it towards right center field. That is a gapper. Back towards the 420 marker. Kapler, who's off with the pitch, will score. Miller's thinking 3. And he's standing at third base with an RBI triple. And has the Red Sox on top 5-3.
It's amazing the amount of extra base hits that Bill Miller has on the season. Picks up his 3rd triple of the season. He's got 29 doubles and 5 home runs. He runs Pierre and Encarnacion all the way to the 420. So with 2 outs, all is going on. The home run by Nixon. Kapler. There's Kapler off at first base on the first pitch. The ball in the gap. He'll have no problem scoring on this. So the Red Sox pick up a couple of runs after 2 outs are in the inning.
Wayne Rosenthal, the pitching coach, was out briefly to talk to Brad Penny. As Bill Miller has tripled in a run here, the Red Sox have a 2-run lead, 5-3, as they continue to bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's Jason Varitek, who grounded out to first base his first time up. Sends it foul back into the seats.
37 of the 79 hits now for Bill Miller have been extra base hits.
Perhaps the quietest pickups during the offseason, but quite possibly the biggest by the Red Sox. This is up top to Varitek, 1-1. 2-1 now to Veritek. Those triples, the American League leader Nomar Garciaparra, the Major League leader Nomar Garciaparra, with 12 on the season. Taking ball away to Veritek, and Jason in the driver's seat here, 3-1. Well, Brad Penny got 2 quick outs, then the home run by Nixon, the single by Kapler, the triple by Bill Miller. 2 runs in, and the Red Sox on top 5-3. Ball 4 to Veritek, and the second walk given up by Brad Penny of the afternoon. Runners at the corners, 2 down, and it's back up to the top of the order for Johnny Damon. Walked and scored in the first inning, grounded out to shortstop in the third. Damon has hit safely in 15 of his last 16 games as he takes strike 1. The shortstop position by Alex Gonzalez to end the inning. 2 runs in for the Red Sox. We played 4, 5-3 Boston. Back at Fenway Park, the Red Sox on top 5-3, partially because of the home run by Trot Nixon. And the Red Sox for the 3rd time in the game with the lead, on top by 2 as we move to the top of the 5th inning. Derek Lowe has retired 5 Marlins in a row, and is fresh off his first 1-2-3 inning of his outing. Faces 9-1-2 in the Marlins order here in the 5th. Redmond sends a 2-hopper to third. Miller backed up on it, but has it and throws out Redmond for the inning's first out. Let's time out for the answer to kind of a trick question for us here today. Why is the only player who is the only player remaining from the Marlins 1997 championship season? And the answer is Luis Castillo. It is kind of a trick question in that he was not on the roster for the postseason. He did play 75 games that year for the Marlins and is still with them some years later. Within 1 year of winning the World Series, 18 of 25 Marlins were let go through trades, free agency, released, lost in expansion drafts, or retired.
Look at the defense set up for Juan Pierre. Look where Todd Walker's playing. Infield in. He's even brought Nomar in a couple of steps at shortstop.
It's got everybody thinking now.
Yeah. Remember a couple of times when Don Zimmer, my former manager, was managing at Texas, and of course I bunted quite a bit, and it's the exact same defense. I looked up and I look at the second baseman. He's playing infield in with nobody on. I couldn't believe it.
He knew your act.
Yeah, he knew that weak act.
One more note, the last Marlin from that club that was on the postseason roster was actually Cliff Floyd, who was traded to Montreal last season and then of course came to Boston. Part of that postseason team. The breakup of the Marlins certainly similar to some other dismantlings of championship clubs over the years, but that was one of the biggest in modern history. Lined and caught at second by Walker. The fact that he was in worked out, and the defensive alignment works this time for out number 2.
Well, he was not there to catch a line drive. He was there for a bunt, but instead he will catch the line drive. And Juan Pierre quickly the second out of the inning.
Let's check in with Eric Freed. Eric.
Don here with a big Red Sox fan. It's Billy Andrade, the pro golfer out of Rhode Island. We came up here to the Monster Landing because we can get a good view of a certain seat you were in back in 1975 on an October night.
I was fortunate enough to come to Game 6. I was 11 years old. I came with my dad and my cousin, and you know, it brings back memories walking up here and looking in section 33 and Remember hearing the ball go by. We fist hit the home run at 12:30 at night. Remember sleeping in the middle of the game. The beginning of the game was great. The middle was a little tiring, and then the end was unbelievable.
You're taking a week off from the PGA Tour, but you were at work back in your home state of Rhode Island this week for your annual golf classic, the CVS Charity Classic with Brad Faxon. It went well again.
Absolutely. We had a wonderful, wonderful tournament, raised a lot of money for charity, and the only unfortunate thing was Mediate and Sluman beat Brad and I.
Well, the good thing is we get to watch the game. We're going to stay up here for a little while. Guys, to you.
5-3 Red Sox. Red Sox on top 5-3. Todd Walker, Nomar Garciaparra, and David Ortiz to face Brad Penny here in the last of the 5th inning. Walker sends it foul off the left side. He's down 0-2. And Todd Walker homering back in the 1st inning, a 2-run shot, his 7th home run of the year. The time gave the Red Sox a 2-0 lead. That time the Red Sox have taken a lead. The Marlins have come back to tie it up, and the Red Sox right now holding on to a 5-3 lead. And Derek Lowe has now retired 8 Marlins in a row, 2nd time through the order. Center field, struck well. Juan Pierre headed back to the dirt of the track, front of the wall to make the catch. No more room in which to work with in dead center field, and there's one away. Let's take a look at the game summary. So far today, Todd Walker's 2-run home run is 7th. Kapler continues to get it done, a solo home run. And Trot Nixon with a solo home run of his own. Brad Penny, 4 1/3 innings, giving up the 5 runs the Red Sox have. And Derek Lowe has retired 8 in a row. And 5 innings, giving up 3 runs for Lowe. 5 strikeouts for Derek Lowe today, a rather high number. So Walker hitting it a ton to dead center field, but he's out number 1.
You know, Don, Walker's having a terrific year for the Red Sox, and we think of American League second baseman. Obviously, Soriano gets most of the attention, but how about the year Boone's having?
Incredible.
He is 9th in the league in hitting. He is 2nd in home runs, and he is 3rd in runs batted in.
An amazing year. And so was Todd Walker, though, really. I think coming into the season, everybody thought that he was a guy that was a lot of offense, not much defense. But I think he's proved a little bit about his defense, as this one is fouled off the catcher, Mike Redmond.
Now, Soriano will win the balloting, am I correct? He must have a big lead. But Boone's got to be on that club somewhere with those kind of numbers.
I certainly think so.
I think Delgado might make it, too.
I think he's got a chance.
I have that feeling.
Before I forget, he broke up Tomoka's no-hitter, as a matter of fact, with an RBI double in the 7th inning, and it's now 2-1. Apparently, the Expos still with the lead, but Oka's no-hitter bid was broken up.
I think on the squeeze, I saw that they have a 3-1 lead now, Montreal.
They've added on
the squeeze.
It's entirely possible, because they told me last inning, and I forgot to get to it. So we're an inning late on the Delgado breaking up the Oka news. It could be 10-1 for all we know right now. Yeah, it's 3-1 on the scoreboard in the 8th. Montreal on top. Omar with a cut that gets Redmond again. 2nd time in the sequence that the catcher's been hit. Juan Rodriguez knows all about foul tips. Now Garciaparra has hit safely in 31 straight games here at Fenway Park, and is in search of his first hit here today. As Garciaparra is grounded out and lined out. He's 0 for 2. And he fouls it off his own foot this time, and still 2-2 to Garciaparra. We talked about Nomar hitting in 31 straight games, a .405 average at home this season. Leads the American League in that category. 37 of 38 overall home games. Waves at that pitch and strikes out. Just the 2nd strikeout of the day for Brad Penny. 2 down.
Nomar had difficulty throughout that at bat picking up the curveball from Penny. Had some funny swings. Again, Again, the over-the-top breaking ball from Brad Penny, and Garciaparra striking out for only the 26th time this season. He's the third toughest guy in the American League to strike out. Toby Hall the toughest. Benji Molina 2 catches ahead of Garciaparra.
David Ortiz fooled on that pitch. 0 for 2 in the game. Ortiz struck out in the first inning and grounded out to first base in the 4th inning. And the hands fouled off.
Get the Globe's award-winning sports coverage every day. Call 1-800-9845-335 for 50% off home delivery. The Boston Globe, your world unfolding daily.
Ortiz lifts it to left, but right in the neighborhood of Cabrera, who had to come on. He sort of misplayed it. He started off running to his right on a slant and then realized he had to come in, and by the time he made the adjustment, the ball lands, and David Ortiz stands at first base with 2 down.
Now, of all the positions for Cabrera, that's the one he's the least accustomed to, and you see he'll break back first. He goes back a step, and then he has to come back in, and that line drive sinking quickly, can't make the play. Brad Penny thought he had the 3rd out of the inning, but not quite.
Instead, he's going to face Kevin Millar, who's 0 for 2 in the game. And Penny's pitch count starting to get up there a little bit, as he probably wanted that to be the final out for sure, not only to get out of the inning, but to also to secure his place here in the game as far as pitch count goes. This next pitch will be the 90th of his outing.